Good morning, real estate people. How you doing this morning? You good? I'll take care of that. Awesome. What the heck just happened on this stage? Where is Brad Lovejoy? If I could really quickly, where are you at, Brad? I let them take over for 1 second on this stage, and all of a sudden, I've got a grown man dropping it like it's hot. Wow, good for you. Good for you. Guys, I've been really looking forward to this. This is one of those things where this isn't my event, so to say. My name is on this event. This is your event, okay? How many of you came here because you want to run better businesses? How many of you are lost and you're not even sure where you are right now? Because how many of you are less than 5 years in the business? Really quickly here, okay? How many of you are more than 10 years in the business here? Awesome. So this right here, when I say that it's your event, it's not my event. I'm not going to take 20 minutes right now and do a big intro. I assume you guys know me at this point. What I want to do is over the course of the next 2 days, I want to get into actual training. I want to get into stuff that will really help you. I want to get into, have you guys noticed the industry's changing a little bit? Have you guys noticed that consumer behavior is changing a little bit? And so one of the things we're going to try to do is we're going to try to leave a lot of time also for Q&As. We have a Q&A at the end of the day, so I want you to be getting your questions ready. I've also told everybody along the way here as we're doing interviews and we're doing this stuff that I might have somebody scheduled for 35 minutes, but if they give 27 minutes of gold and then there's not 8 minutes, we're going to move on to the next person, okay? I have no interest in giving you guys information just to fill time. How many of you came from outside of New Orleans? Do me a favor, stand up if you came outside of New Orleans real quick. I just want to really get a visual for myself right now. Okay. Are any of you from New Orleans? That's probably... Is this thing on? Was that question, like, you guys understood that, right? Like, every one of you are from outside of New Orleans? Guys, we got to do better marketing in New Orleans. I just got to... I'm just saying, like, wow, where's everybody from? Jersey! It's like an hour from me.
Edmonton, Canada.
All right, Edmonton, Canada. Were you just there when I was there last week? Nice. Hey, how you doing, man? Where's everybody else from? This was a mistake. I realize it. I'm getting it right now. This was a mistake. How's it going? Where's everybody else from? Where are you guys from? Toronto, Canada. Awesome, awesome. Who's from Canada in this room? Really quickly, who's from Canada? All right. We got one crazy drunk guy at 9 a.m. That's Was he on the stage? Were you on the stage? I'm not surprised. Awesome. Who was the guy? What happened up here? Good God. Who was the guy dominating in the marshmallow toss? Where are you at? Where are you at? That was not your first time, okay? Let's not. Didn't know we could have seasoned vets when it comes to marshmallow tosses, but apparently there is such a thing, okay? So guys, here's what I want from you. We're going to do a lot of Q&A today. I want to know what it is that you want to know, okay? When I say that this isn't my event, my name is on it, but it's your event, what I'm really saying by that is I've got a thesis of where I want to go. I've got kind of a, but the truth of the matter is this is my lane. Like this is something that I know, and I may switch on the spot based on what I'm getting from you guys as far as what you want to learn about, okay? So when we do Q&As, don't make us wait. You know how like everybody waits a minute, nobody will raise their hand, and all of a sudden people just won't stop talking? Like, get your questions ready, okay? End of the day, each day, we're going to end with Q&A, okay? Don't be afraid to ask a question, okay? There's the old saying, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Yes, there is. There clearly is such thing as a dumb question, okay? But they're not going to come from this room. Just about everybody in here, except for about 1.5 people, came from outside of New Orleans, okay? So you guys traveled here from somewhere else, which means that you need something. You came to get something. I want to start off by saying kudos to you, okay? Because to me, look, guys, I work with some of the top people around the world, okay? And one of the things that they have in common is they do things like this. When we talked about the fact that there's no internet here today, that's not an accident. Do you know why there's no internet? Because you guys are addicted to your phones. You're addicted to, and so what I want you to do is if you actually took the time and you invested the money to come here, I want you to get something as a result. There are people in this room, and I know this, a lot of the people that I'm going to bring up with me over the course of the next 2 days, were sitting in those seats with you just last year, the year before, 5 years ago, whenever it was. And you know what's funny is that they came to an event like this, they heard something that changed the course of their business, and ultimately are now going to be on this stage with me as a result. But here's what I find interesting. At those exact same events, there were people who came to the exact same events, listened to the exact same content, and got 0. Whose fault do you think that is? It's your own fault, right? You guys seen the YouTube video? I talk about the world becomes easier when everything's your fault. It's just the truth. There's going to be, I've looked at the agenda. Technically, I made the agenda now that I'm thinking about it. But I also looked at it. The agenda is off the hook. Like, I was last night looking over the agenda, and I was looking at some of the sessions we're going to do. I was talking to, is Mark here right now? Manaha? Where's Mark? Is Mark in the room? Yes? I was talking to Mark last night. We were talking about his session where he's going to actually talk about how to start building wealth from this industry, right? And what that looks like, and what a crime it is, what retirement looks like for most people in this industry. And we were going over his content, and I was literally getting excited as I'm going, this is gold. We're going to have somebody up here in a minute with gold shoes who's not Michael Johnson. Nobody gets a Michael Johnson reference? The fastest man in American history. It's all good, guys. You're not track fans. The funny thing is he probably doesn't even get the reference. But he's going to get up here and talk about how he went in year 1 from 0 to 70 transactions, okay? And what that looks like and what the reality of it is. Because some of you in here are absolutely killing it, and you've got top teams in states, top teams in countries. But here's what I also know. There's always more. How many of you know that there is more than what you're doing right now? How many of you know that you cannot scale time? How many of you know that the person in this room that is doing the most number of transactions and the person in this room who is doing the least number of transactions are probably working the same amount of hours? Like, think about that for a second. You guys know a broke realtor? Some of you don't have to look too far. You're like, oh, my seat. Here we go. See, when you say it with a smile, it's okay, right? But does that person not work their ass off? Do they not work their tail off? So the issue in our industry is not work ethic. The issue in our industry is that all hours are not created equal, okay? We're buying into lies that all my people want me. They just want me. No, you want them to want you, okay? Henry Ford bought into the same lie until he realized I got to grow. I can't do test drives anymore, okay? And so we're going to talk about these things over the course of the next 2 days. I'm super excited about all of it. But what I need from you guys, because these people that are getting up here, some of you in the crowd right now are going to be people that get up with me in the coming years here. And here's what I know. They're not professional speakers. They don't do this. They don't. And it's nerve-wracking. And it's something where I need you, when people are getting up on this stage, I need you to bring the energy. Okay? I need you to give them standing ovations, get them excited, because when those nerves leave them, guess who benefits from it? You do, okay? And so we want to make sure that every single person that gets up here, we make them feel comfortable, we make them feel energy, and ultimately, you're going to pull everything out of them that you possibly can and leave here with something. Can we agree on that right now? Just don't give them that golf clap you just gave me on that remark. Okay? It's a convention or a country club. I'm starting to wonder right now. Really quickly, I got one more. We're doing a lot of different contests for you guys. We're trying to give away a lot of free stuff. We're trying to give you cool stuff. The stuff that we're trying to give away to you, you'll notice, are stuff that actually is going to be used for the different tactics and strategies we're going to be teaching you. I know that a lot of them are foreign. I think you gave away, was it a gimbo or something up here earlier like that? Did I say it right? A gimbo? Somebody tell me if I'm saying it right. Yes? You guys don't know. Gimbal? Gimbal. All right, awesome. Gimbo. I think that's actually gumbo is messing me up right now, right? That tool is absolutely amazing. Like, when we were testing this thing out, I think it was Anthony or someone else went running up our stairs following me, and you couldn't even tell that the thing was moving, okay? So these are the types of things that we want to start doing. But the first contest that we want to let you know about right here is that we are going to give away a strategy session. And guys, I have never done this, okay? And I fought my office hard on this, but they broke through. We're going to do a free strategy session with me, okay? And so this is going to happen at the time of your choosing. We're going to do a free video strategy session on your business. The way that you are going to do this is that you are going to go onto and like and comment the picture that is being put up on Instagram right now. You like and comment it. You go to connectwithjared.com, follow on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. Guys, you are going to hear these 4 platforms over and over and over again. Do you think that that's an accident? Do you think it's an accident I'm not talking about MySpace? I wanted MySpace to win. I had a following on MySpace, okay? But these are the 4 right now that you're going to hear over and over and over again. So you're going to want to go there. You have to post a photo. We're going to announce the winner tomorrow at the end of the day. So between now and then, you've got to post a photo from this event on Instagram, caption telling us why you should win, why we should pick you, with the hashtag JaredJamesAdvance and hashtag PickMeJared. Does that sound like a good idea, guys? Would you guys like to do a strategy session with me? This is really going to hurt my feelings right now, guys, if this is not, I mean, what are we, 15 minutes in, guys? Come on now, bring the energy today, okay? You guys ready to get started with the conference? Then let's do it. So, when you look at our industry, guys, I'm going to set the table for you a little bit as far as where we're going today. When you look at our industry, for those of you that have been in longer than 10 years, has our industry changed a little? How many of you have been to a live event with me in the past year? Okay, so you've heard me saying over and over again that one of the cores of our coaching, one of the cores of our business is the idea that we marry the principle, we date the model, right? We marry the principle, we date the model. What does that mean? The principle. In the old days, when I was helping my mother sell homes, we used to call the phone book, right? And we'd call the phone book and say, hey, I've got buyers looking in your area and you know anybody looking to sell, right? That was a principle. The principle that was around was the idea that I need to get in front of people who need my services at the time they need them before someone else. Make sense? That's the principle we marry. The model of calling the phone book, is that still a good idea? Guys, that is the easiest question you are going to get all day right now. Should you still be calling the phone book? Do you still have a phone book? Like a phone book now is like to prop up a child at a table, right? It's not any kind of a, okay? For any of you that don't know, that haven't been around for a while, a phone book, it's like modern day Google. That's what it used to be. So we marry the principle, but we date the model. The strategies have changed. We're still trying to get to the same thing, right? 92 to 96% of people now are looking for a buyer or seller start where? Online, right? 72% of them still work with the first person they have a conversation with. And so what's going on is that the principle of people using the principle of people finding someone at the time that they need them has remained the same. The strategy, the model of how that actually happens has changed. And we're going to talk about how that changes. Now, what I want to tell you is that the product is not what's at risk. People are still buying and selling houses. A record number of homes sold last year. What's at risk right now is whether they're using you. And in order to figure that out, we first have to make sure that we're paying attention to consumer behavior. Has consumer behavior changed in our industry? Has the way that people are finding homes changed in our industry? I was talking again to Mark last night, and we were going over one of the NAR profiles of buyers and sellers, and we found that less than 4% of people use their agent to find a home. I want you to think about that for a second. Less than 4% of the market found their home through their agent. Is that not insane to anyone else here? Yeah. It's not the world I grew up in. And here is what has changed in our market right now, is this right here. Consumers used to go professional first, product second. What do now? They go product first, professional second. And if you think about it, this is what every other industry was already doing. People don't go find a car salesperson and say, hey, what kind of a car do you sell? Oh, a Honda? I guess I'll buy a Honda. What do? They go find the what first? What kind of car they're going to purchase, and then they decide based on that what professional they're using. The difference in our industry is that people used to go and find the professional first, and then after they found the professional, what would they do? Then they'd go and find the property. But what changed all that, guys? Boom. This thing right here. We used to be the gatekeepers. Remember? We used to be the ones that when somebody wanted to finally go out there and find a home or sell their home or do something like that, they had to do what? They had to out themselves and say, hey, I'm looking for a home. And then you'd say, hey, use my realtor so-and-so. And then they would introduce you. Remember those referral-only days? Like, you guys were awesome salespeople. You had like 100% conversion ratio. Now, when someone wants to buy or sell a home, 8 months before they even tell their spouse. They're jumping on Zillow at 1 o'clock in the morning, or Realtor.com at 1 o'clock in the morning, or your website at 1 o'clock in the morning, and searching before they ever even tell their spouse. I've been telling people that we used to be an industry where it was enough to get in front of people when they were ready to buy and sell. That was called the referral-based world. We're now living in an industry where you have to get in front of people when they're ready to learn, because this thing has changed everything. It gave them the data. It's the gatekeepers. This cell phone. Remember when this cell phone used to actually be a phone? Remember when you used to call people with it? I swear I do everything but call people with this phone. Is this not true? How many of you in this room, and don't you dare lie to me, okay? How many of you in this room have you've texted somebody, and rather than texting you back, they called you back, and you got pissed off? And you went if I wanted to talk to you, I would have called you, right? And if you're not laughing in this room, I just helped you, just so you know, because you're what do you mean? That's not okay? No, it's not okay, okay? It's not how it works anymore, okay? This thing changed everything. This thing right here, and what's happening is that people are starting so much sooner. They're starting 8 months before. They're starting, like I said, before they ever even tell their spouse. And what's going on is by the time they finally get to the point in the process when they do out themselves and they say, hey, I'm thinking of buying or selling, and they go, use my realtor, John, or whatever it is, they go, I've already been talking to Tammy for 8 months. And what's going on right now is that those people, those leads that suck, you know what I'm talking about? And think about that for a second, guys. Somebody goes online, puts in their personal information to go through to a stranger because they're not serious. Think about that. Now, the majority of this room has heard this example before, but I'm going to tell this for the few that haven't. Salespeople, or those people, those leads, are doing exactly to you what you do to every other salesperson. When you walk into a furniture store, you get 20 feet in, and Mr. and Mrs. Salesperson says, can I help you? What do you all say? You all know the answer. That's right, Mr. and Mrs. Salesperson. I dragged my kids out of bed on a Saturday morning. I drove to this specific store. I'm now making a beeline to the dining room section because I'm not looking for a dining room table. And then that salesperson goes back and tells their manager, wow, these leads suck today. It's not the leads that suck. I didn't say it. It's not the leads, guys. But here's the thing. The truth is we really haven't been properly equipped. We are, and it's not their fault, but we're working with brokers, we're working in companies, who have no idea how to operate in today's world because it wasn't the world they grew up in. Our industry is still looked at and is still acted on like it's a multi-level marketing scheme. 87% of people failing in the first 5 years. If I can bring enough people in, that enough of them will sell to their grandmother and their mother, and then they'll leave, but at least I'll make a little money on them. So what do we do to train them? Talk to your friends and family. And completely ignoring what's actually going on from a consumer behavior standpoint. Is that not what's going on right now? No training, just keep working. And guys, you know this, I'm not anti-referral. We did a coaching thing 2 months ago where I talked about referrals, how to get referrals. My issue is that 99.9% of you in this room, and I'm being very kind right now, are spending 100% of your time on something that is now less than 40% of the industry. Because we don't want to be rejected. We don't want to, again, everyone's an awesome salesperson when you're working with referrals only. The problem is that in today's world, by the time somebody gets to a referral, it's too late. Is this not what's going on right now? You're like, well, people are still buying and selling. Yeah, they are. But our industry is no like any other one. Did not a record number of people rent videos last year? And yet Blockbuster went out of business. Did not a record number of people purchase books last year? And yet Borders Books went out of business. Are any of your kids or grandkids, is there a shortage of buying toys? What just happened to Toys R Us? People are still purchasing products. They're still purchasing real estate. But how they're doing it has changed. And when you marry the model, not the principle, you go the way of Blockbuster. Because Blockbuster stood in there and went, no, people are going to keep renting videos. No, all our data shows people are really into videos. Guess what, Blockbuster? You're right. you're also out of business. Because Blockbuster should have started Netflix. Borders Books should have started Amazon. If Borders Books had decided to start Amazon, Amazon would have had zero chance. You do understand Amazon started as a books-only sales site, right? Not the monster that it is today, one of the largest, if not the largest companies in the world. They would have had zero chance. But do you know how companies like that, do you know how disruptors in your industry, do you know how they flourish? Because you marry the model. Get romantic about the way you built your business. Get romantic about how your parents built it before you came in. I'm going to tell you right now, one of the quickest and easiest ways to not grow your business from this point on is to get romantic about what got you here today. Because what got you here today will not get you there. It's no different than when we're talking about building out your presence and building out your actual company. What I tell team leaders and what I tell company leaders all the time is that personality, that driven thing that you have, that got you to this place is exactly what's going to keep you from going there. Because that personality now moving forward will completely crush anyone around you. You understand? How do you think I end up with a grown man dropping it like it's hot on this stage? Because I let my team take it over. And I went, guys, go, whatever. I knew that I couldn't grow if I didn't let go. You understand? And I know the types of personalities that are in this room. Believe me, I get it, you're type A's. I get it, you're control freaks. I get it, people want you. I get it that they're not going to do it right. I get it that in the meantime, your life sucks. Like, think about this business for a second. If you succeed on any level the way that the industry teaches you to succeed, you are going to hate your life. Too soon? Like, when's it going to get funny again? Are we going to... Is it not true? Oh, let's get to 50 transactions. Oh, let's get to, but my people want me. Good luck. Have you ever figured out how many hours each buyer and each seller takes? Because it is math. Each one takes a certain amount of hours, and I'm telling you right now, your hours in your day aren't going any higher. And so while you're out there winning your awards and standing up on stage as Mr. or Miss Successful and privately hating your structure, scared to death to go on vacation, there's got to be a better way. You understand? And so we're going to talk a lot over the course of the next 2 days, because this isn't just theory. Guys, we're going to bring people up we've done it with. Like, we're going to actually, we've done it with our own company. We're doing it with our own company. I'm telling you that in our industry, the days of the solopreneur are going to be over soon. And you can continue, look, can you make it? Yeah, but you're going to hate your life. You're going to hate what you're doing every single day. And I don't know about you, but most people got into this business not because in second grade career day when little Johnny wanted to be an astronaut, you said, one day I will sell a home. Because if you did, there's something wrong with you. Like, I'm just going to tell you right now, okay? Which was evidence there's already some people here, there's something wrong with them, because I got marshmallows all over my stage right now, okay? But you understand, guys, this is not an industry that generally people go and, like, you know, it's like a dream from a young age and whatever. People get into it. Well, they get into it because they watch HGTV, which most of those millionaire whatever that are selling 5 homes every year. They do these types of things, and then they go, I want freedom of schedule. Do I even need a punchline, guys? Like, do you? Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to break a little news to you right now, okay? Because I already know during the Q&A session, someone's going to go, Jared, I just need balance. How do I don't want to, you know, whatever. Guys, you're in real estate, okay? How do I not work the weekends? You get a new freaking job. Can I be honest at my conference? Is that all right, guys? Like, I'm not hired in here right now, okay? You don't want to work. I don't want to work with trees. Then don't be a lumberjack, Dan. Okay, like, you're going to work, okay? Now, you should be a different breed if you're into this industry, okay? Okay, look at my job, okay? Right? Where's my wife? Hun, I'm home 7 days a week all the time, right? My head is never anywhere else, right? Okay.
He's a good liar.
This is the career I chose. Like, understand who you are. This idea of we're teaching people, this is how you balance, and this is how you do this, and this is how you're not created like that. Chances are, if you're in this business, you were not created like that. Like, that's not your genetic pool. You understand that? And as long as you hold on to that inner conflict of thinking that that's possible, while also having this driven whatever inside of you, you never win. You will always have conflict. Always. So let's just come grips. Look, yes, should you be present when you're home? Yes. Should we turn off internet on you? Yes. Should you? Yes, 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 yes. But if you think you're not going to work your ass off, and you're not going to get stressed, and you're not going to, guys, go work at a flower shop. Even they have stress. Valentine's happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just thinking about it right now. Like, I'm sure. I heard a dozen roses and 11 showed up. You know, whatever. I'm getting empathetic about the flower industry right before you guys. So now I've kind of depressed you a little bit. But let's talk about the good news right now. Do you first off get the point of what I'm trying to say to you, that we used to be professional first, product second? I need you to think about your business and understand that most of you are still running a professional first, product second business, and you are not working in the way that the industry works anymore. Look, guys, I'm trying to help you. I don't care which way it goes. I'm just telling you what is. You don't like that people are on social? You know, that fad? You know, I don't need to be on there because I don't need to know John had chicken for dinner. Do you realize social media, like, is 52% of all web traffic? Like, it's bigger than the rest of the internet. It should be called the internet, and everything else should be called something else. But I don't believe in that. You're in a people business. It doesn't matter what you believe. Where are people? Why am I in the basement of some place in New Orleans? Because you're here. You understand? It doesn't matter. We have now changed. It's now product first, professional second. But I'm going to give you guys some good news as well. You ready? In the last 12 months, 89% of all sellers were assisted by a real estate agent when buying or selling their home. Okay? More good news. The number of people the last 5 years that used a real estate professional when buying or selling a home has gone up consecutively every single year for the past 5 years. More good news. FSBOs are at their lowest point in over 30 years. Thank you. Literally you. Thank you. Not only that, have you guys noticed the gap has widened between what a house sells for when somebody sells at FSBO and what it sells for when somebody goes and sells it through an agent? It used to be the difference of about $180,000 to $230,000 or $190,000 to $230,000. It's now widened from $190,000 to $249,000. And so while your people are saying, I want to save 6%, I'm sitting here going, you're costing yourself 30%. You understand? And taking on all the risk, and taking all the, now that's not my strategy for you to get FSBOs. There's a better way to go about it. But you guys see what's going on here? While more and more people are going online, while more and more people are working in the same way that you're doing, more and more people are actually using you. But how they're finding you has changed. Has it not? And here's the funny thing. They're acting exactly how you act when you're buying anything, selling anything. They're doing exactly what you are. So I'm going to go over 4 really quick points with you guys as we get started here that I want you to start working on in your businesses. You guys ready? Come on. Don't make me do this at my own event, guys. Come on. Come on now. All right, first one, you've heard me say this before, but we'll get a little bit more into this. I need you all to stop acting as marketers differently than you're behaving as consumers. I need you to stop acting as marketers differently than you are behaving as consumers. What does that mean? How many of you in this room right now, by a show of hands, at least once a day, go on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Google, one of these places at least once a day? Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Keep your hands raised up right now. Keep them raised up. How many of you in this room have a minimum ad spend of at least $500 a month on one of those platforms? Oh, hold on. This thing must have... Did this turn off? What just happened, guys? First off, kudos to you. Why is it all of our coaches, okay? Kudos to you, but look at all the hands that just went down. Because we are acting as marketers differently than we are behaving as consumers. All that matters right now is where are people? What's going on? Like, how you built is not how you get to the next phase. And while we sit here and laugh about me saying everything I said till now, but getting romantic about whatever, and you think it's about everyone else, I just asked that question, and what happened? We're a part of it. Now, for some of you, that should make you feel really good, because that means your competition is not acting in the right way right now. Do you know why we've grown at the level that we have? Because I'm doing everything that I'm teaching you to do. While my counterparts who have been around forever just keep doing the same thing. Just keep going. And what I'm doing is going, I don't know, I don't care if I get it. I don't care if I agree with it. I don't care. Where is attention? The internet changed everything, guys. Do you understand that? It's only chapter 1 right now. Do you know that the average person checks their phone over 150 times a day? Some of you are like, that sounds low. I just thought that. What do you count as a check? Like, is that a... I think I did that before I came out here. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm at my quota right now. Just the fact that you think that sounds low, what does that say? Like, you get it? Average 150. I was listening to a thing, how many of you listen to Gary Vee? So I was listening to something by him recently, and he was saying how the #1 spender in the mid-2000s on Google pay-per-click was Amazon. How did that work out for them? The #1 the last 3 out of the 5 years on Facebook ads was a little place called Wish, which is now worth billions. What does that tell you? Second thing we want to do, go all in on video. Guys, you've heard me say this. There you go. Video, video. And by the way, I had somebody compliment you yesterday on your videos, so good for you. Go all in on video. You guys have heard me say this before. Why don't you like video? Because you don't like how you look and sound. Is that true? Can we all agree that everybody in this room, everyone knows what you look and sound like? Like, if you're avoiding video because you don't like how you look and sound, you damn well better have a bag over your head right now. Because I see you. This is high definition as it comes. Like, if you're avoiding video because I don't like how I look and sound, I see you. Like, there you are. Like, lock yourself up in the basement because I see you, right? But why is video so powerful compared to text and email? And guys, I love text and email. I love these things. But you know what? When you text and email somebody, it's one of 300 they got that day. And the font on that text or email looks exactly the same. When I send a video, now I've differentiated. When I send a video and someone can actually see me, and now they are actually forced to create a story around it, and they're forced to go, oh, that must be how they take care of their family, and this is what they do, and here's what I know about video, and here's what I know about text. It is much more difficult to reject a person than it is to reject a font. And so while you're avoiding and you're getting those leads that are coming in, and you're not using your BombBomb app and holding that thing up while you're doing your lawn, and you don't look perfect, and you don't have your name badge on, God forbid, and you don't have your makeup on, and you just pick it up and go, hey, just doing something with my kids right now, whatever, I'm going to get back to you later today. If there's any other questions, send them in the meantime. Didn't want you to think I forgot about you, talk to you soon, and you send. Do you know what just happened when you do that? You just became human. Or you can keep doing what you used to do to convert and tell yourself that the leads suck. And in the meantime, that person that came through, who, by the way, wasn't completely ready yet, they weren't ready for another 7 months. Because you told yourself the lead sucked, 7 months later, they went and bought a house or sold a house with someone else and made thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, but out of sight, out of mind, you don't think about it. And yet if someone in this room owed you $20 and didn't pay you back, they'd be dead to you. But you are willing to run your business in a way that costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars and somehow just overlook it because I don't like how I look and sound. We are in a people business. We are in a face-to-face. Guys, the more things change, the more they stay the same. What did I say, 92 to 96% start online, but 72% still work with the first person they have a conversation with? The goal is this. But we can either create narratives that make us feel better about the fact that we never get to this, or we can say, I invested money to go to a conference, and I'm going to change my business. I'm going to change the way I'm doing things. And guess what? When you do that, guess who wins? It's not me who wins. Guess who wins? You win. And the funny thing about video is, as afraid of it as all of you are, it's like anything, guys. Nobody starts as an expert. How do you get good at video? You just suck. You put out a video and it's terrible. Some of you in here, are you guys all on Facebook in the Jared James coaching group? I hope so, right? Because this is my crowd, so I hope so, right? So you guys see, I'm gonna give you a little insight right now, okay? So you guys post those videos, and a lot of times when I go to an event, someone will be inspired, and they'll go take that video, and they'll put it in the group, and they'll say, hey, everyone, I got over my fear, and I posted a video, right? Here it is, what do you think? And you all get in there, and you all encourage each other, and you're like, great job, amazing, way to go, Nancy, okay? I look at that video, and you know what I think? That's the worst piece of crap I've ever seen in my life. Good for you. You understand? Good for you. Because nobody starts as an expert. And while you're committing to being terrible at video right in the beginning, everyone around you judging you isn't. And in the end, you win. My first video is so bad that every year I've said I was going to show it at my next advance, and every year I don't, because it's so bad. Right? Like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The angry mob. Guys, shirt and tie, white t-shirt showing underneath. That's a great look, okay? If you're wearing that right now, I'm helping you, just so you know. Not a great look. White t-shirt should not show under the shirt and tie. And then I did like a Mr. Rogers, like I didn't know that it was going to happen, like the camera's on. I was like, well, hello there. And I looked at the camera. I went on to tell this audience almost 10 years ago that they better hurry up and register for the first ever training I was doing because there was only 1,000 spots. There's 17 views a decade later, just so you know. Pretty sure you can get a spot, okay? Nobody starts as an expert, right? When it comes to video, what do I always say, guys? Perfection's not the goal. Connection's the goal. That's it. Connection. People don't connect with perfect people. Guys, from my office, those Jared James Today shows that I do, 12 to 30 minutes, how many second shots have I ever done? How many second takes have I ever done? 0. Like, they're here as my witness right now. 0. Lights went out in the office in the middle of a shoot once, and I went, back at it. Perfection is not the goal. Like, in real life, I don't get to go, hey, how you doing? My name's, hold on. Let's do this again. Hey, how you doing? I don't get to do that. Perfection's not the goal. And as hard as we're all working, doing 27 retakes and 32 videos and then never showing one, all we're doing is working harder to not connect. Because people connect with imperfect people. They don't connect with people that they feel are better than them, that they feel are perfect, that they feel are so polished, that they feel are so... Hey guys, have any of you noticed, and you'll notice, how many of you have never met me in person before? Really quickly here, show of hands. Holy crap. Guys, we got to get a chance to say hello, okay? But what you're going to notice is I'm the exact same guy. Out at that cocktail hour later, I'm the exact same guy. Who did I go? Was it you, or who did I go with? Who have I ever went and like had a drink with when I'm at an event or something, like a group of people or something? Exact same guy. Exact same guy at my kid's soccer thing. Exact same guy. You're either enough or you aren't. You ready? You guys big boy pants on? You ready? You're in a personality-driven business. If you are not enough, you're in the wrong industry. And that does not mean that you've got to be super good looking and you've got to be super charismatic and you've got to... The same things that connect you to the people in your regular life are the same things that connect you by video, only it scales the process. Great marketing doesn't just attract the right people, it repels the wrong ones. Right? You guys got clients you can't stand? Your fault. because you're trying to be everything to everyone and make sure I look like a salesperson and then wonder why most of them don't work with you again. I don't want to post a glass of wine on Facebook. They might see. Do you work with moms? Okay. They drink wine. Okay. Lots of it. You understand? 4 margaritas in, you might want to hold off. Okay. But connection, guys. Connection. It's not perfection. You don't get retakes in real life. But guys, I'm pushing video so hard because I know where things are going. Like, I know the numbers of you, by the way, that are in this room because you started watching me on YouTube. I posted in the group last week. There's a thing in groups now where you can go and it tells you all the new people the last week, and if you click a button, it'll do a status and automatically tag everyone in the group. That's why you all should be doing community groups and first-time home buyer groups in your area and everything else. And I click the button, it tags everybody, and I go, welcome everyone. I'm here for you. Here's how you connect with me. Everyone say hello. Here's the rules of the group. No complaining. Help each other. Blah, blah, blah. And did anyone notice in that post, it's still up on our Facebook group, so you can see I'm not lying. The first 10 posts were nothing but these new people going, I was watching you on YouTube. I watch your videos all the time. I found you on YouTube. And you don't have an active YouTube channel? Because we're acting as marketers differently than we're behaving as consumers. So you find me that way, you find your other content that way, but then you don't do it because I don't like video. Well, good luck running a business where you're not on a salary, because it's about attracting the right people and getting all those other hooligans. I have never said hooligans in my life, just so you guys know. That's the first time I've ever said hooligans, okay? I'm not even sure if it's the right word. My wife will tell me later it's not the right word, right? It's about attracting the right people and taking the other people and going, not for me, not for me. That way you actually enjoy what you're doing every day because you're working with people that you love doing it with. You guys understand how this works? Guys, video, let's talk about why video is so powerful right now. According to Google, by next year, 80% of all search traffic on Google will be video. The number 2 most searched engine right now is YouTube. And YouTube is all what? You got to come up on search. The number 1 agent in your area right now in 2019, that's going to be number 1 in 2019, is building their library right now. I'm going to say that again. Okay, we just defined how people are searching, correct? We all agree with that? It's what you're doing too. Anybody here search Google? Anybody here search YouTube? Any of you on Facebook? Because Facebook just announced they're going all video. Anybody catch that? Okay, Facebook's going all video. So we all know that's the case. We know now that more people are finding their agent online. They're going product first, then professional. Could you guys be very honest with me for a second? And this is going to be, I think, good for everybody to see. How many of you in here, not you have a YouTube channel, whatever, how many of you have either no YouTube channel or have an inactive one that you're not using on a regular basis and you know it? Please put your hands up really quickly. Okay, keep your hands up real quick. Keep your hands up. I want all of you to look around this room. I want you to look around this room. You would think I just said, how many of you have a first name? Everything I'm saying to you right now, you agree with. You're like, yeah, that's what I do. That's how I search. Yep, that's what. Yeah, I'm in. How many of you are doing something to capture those people? Oh, wow, just got real. Do you guys see the disconnect? Do you see, again, this is my event. This isn't come into a 45-minute keynote and rah-rah and whatever. You came here. Change. I'm not telling you where things are going. I'm also telling you what you're doing right now. How many of you watch my YouTube videos? By a show of hands really quickly here. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Okay, keep your hands up. Now let's do a little contrast. Keep them up. You watch my YouTube content. Don't have your own. You guys following? Come on now. So we're going to talk about some practical stuff that we can do and why it matters and how you can. But the number one agent in your market in 2019 and beyond is right now building their library. What do I mean by building your library? Let's talk about this. When I get into my I'm going to do a little thing on social media today. I'm going to talk about the different areas that your YouTube channel needs to have. Okay? And I'm going to actually talk about, you ever notice when you go to my channel, there's a Jared James Today section, there's a quick hits section, there's a keynote section, you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, so we're going to talk about what specific stuff you should have in here. But here's why I'm saying that you need to right now be building your library. The biggest difference right now in Google search, which we all said that we all use, between 2015 and 2017 was that in 2015, the number one way that people searched was what? What is a this? What is a that? The biggest difference between 2017 is that everybody went to why and how. Do you think we need to pay attention to that? Do any of you think it's an accident when you look at how our titles started changing on our Jared James Today shows? You know those ones with 340,000 views on them? That I went to how to do this, how to create this, what? You guys think it's an accident? Guys, watch what I'm doing. Don't just listen to what you hear me say, the little snippets. Watch what I'm doing. Because I'm doing what it is I'm trying to teach you to do. And when I'm making those videos, I'm not just making them for right now, although it works. I'm building a library. And many of my competitors who aren't doing that, they won't even be an option in 2019 and beyond. Because when the whole world goes to search only on video, when Facebook is video only, when Google is 80% video, and when YouTube is nothing but video, and now people are going, and they're going product, professional, who's going to show up? You guys following? Now look, it is for me much more difficult to do what it is I'm talking about than it is for you locally. How many top real estate coaches and trainers are there in North America? Top ones. I'd maybe go 5 to 6. And I'm being kind of like, I'd have to think it through. My point is, I wouldn't need more than 2 hands. Do you know how easy, so what my point is that it's difficult for someone like me to break through, right? That wasn't easy. That is a much steeper climb than you have. Do you know how easy it is to dominate locally? Like, if I went into your area, good luck. Do you know how easy it is to dominate locally? Did you not just see the hands of people who are consuming my content but doing none of their own? Do you know how easy it is to dominate locally? And in the meantime, consumers are having to settle because they have switched from what to why and how. How searches have gone up 300% in the last 12 months. How to find a realtor. How to gain more value in it. How to fix up your home. What kind of content should I do? What kind of questions do you get asked? Do you know every email that comes in is a content piece for you? Do you realize that? Where do you get your content for the Jared James Today show? From you. You guys ask questions. And I go, that's a good one. That's a good one. There's another one. Stop putting so much pressure on yourselves to try and have to what do I do? I don't know if I talk about that, I'll never have anything else to talk about again. So maybe instead of doing 4 ways to do it, I'll do it over 4 videos, one at a time. But then I don't know what to talk about after that. What emails do you get? Whatever the emails are that you get, there's your content. Do you need to be dynamic delivering it? You need to be yourself. Because people are attracted to your real personality who aren't attracted to my real personality. And then people are attracted to my personality that aren't attracted to your personality. Because great marketing doesn't just attract the right people, it repels the wrong ones. You understand? I know that when I get in front of an audience, 70 to 80% of the audience loves me. They're like, that's my dude, it's my ride or die, and 20 to 30% want me to step out in front of a car. Bye, Felicia. I'd rather find that out now. Rather than live a career trying to act like what I'm supposed to be to everybody and then wondering why they're not sticking around with me because I'm like thousands of people in my area. You guys follow? Well, you're either enough or you aren't. Put the work in behind the scenes to be okay with who you really are out in front of everybody, or put the work out in front of them to act like what it is you think you're supposed to act like. My wife didn't want me to wear a t-shirt. And I went, I'm Jared James. I wear a t-shirt. I didn't really say that, guys, just so you know, I don't. You guys don't really think I talk to my wife like third person? I just had to do it, guys. I'm sorry, I had to. I saw the looks on your face. I do talk third person, but I say JJ. No, I'm just kidding, no. But the truth of the matter is, hello, that's me. I'm not going and finding some fancy suit and do. If that's you, go for it. Own it. Not me. If that turns you off, bye. You see where I'm going, guys? You're either enough or you're not. But the days of acting like everyone else are over. And if they're not for you, then you're over. Because you are easily replaceable. Easily replaceable. Is there a shortage of real estate professionals in your area? And yet here's what I also know. Regardless of the number of agents in your area, the same number of transactions are going to happen. True? We don't drive the market, guys. We provide a passenger seat. And people decide whether they want to get in that seat or not. You don't drive the market. Demand is built in. If 4,000 new agents today in your market got their license today, the same number of homes would sell. This is like an epiphany for some of you. If 2,000 agents lost their license today, same number of homes would sell. That's not the issue. It's the attraction. Who can you attract to you? How do you differentiate who you are? How do you become true to who you ultimately are? And then how do I scale that? Video. Video is the easiest way to scale that. This making sense to you guys right now?
Yes.
You guys got to move up front tomorrow or something, because I'm just saying. Is it making sense to you? Video, video, video. Now here's the interesting thing. It's not just video now. So things are starting to switch again. Now video's sticking around. Don't get me wrong, video's here to stay right now. But where are things moving right now? There's another side that's going to have to come to your marketing, and very simply, that's audio. That's us. It's like, we don't feel so bad anymore. Like, we're doing this one. What do I mean by audio, guys? What do I mean by audio? Podcast. How many of you listen to a podcast? Okay, so you'll be very happy to know that we are launching our podcast now for you, okay? Do you guys like a nice podcast that you can listen to? So we literally, I'm gonna walk you guys through right now. Well, first off, why are these important? Why do people like audio? What does Uber give you? Uber wasn't cheaper than taxis. What did Uber give you? Time. Order it, pulling up. All right, everybody, going outside. There was no more like, wait, nope, somebody's in it. Wait, nope, okay. Oh, wait, nope, waste of time. Uber gave you what? I just gave you the answer, guys, just for all of you still confused. Uber gave you time, right? What does audio give you? I'm going to share something with you that I shared with a group yesterday, and I don't generally share with people. People think I must read so many books. Oh, he writes books. He must read books. What do you read, like 32 books a week? Like, I can't remember the last book I read. Marry the principal, date the model. The principal was learning. Do you understand how many avenues we now have to learn? I probably learn more than everybody in this room, okay? But I don't read a ton of books. I'll go audio, I'll go podcasts, I'll go YouTube clips, I'm learning constantly. But these days of doing that, I just don't, it's not the way. Now, some of you, that is the way you learn. That's why I'll continue to write books. Good for you. You've got to know yourself. But stop buying into this, everybody's the same, everybody does the same, everybody needs to. Some of you finally got an outlet to understand. You never knew why you didn't love reading books. You never knew why you didn't gain that much from them. You never knew why, because you didn't have other outlets and understand that principle of learning, there were other ways to do it. Make sense? So people love audio because it gives them time. You can do other things while you're doing it. It's convenient. You can be, did you sweat today? While you got your stuff in here and you're listening and you're... And if we know that the majority of you right now are consuming content that way, why are we not doing it for other people? Because we're acting as marketers differently than we're behaving as consumers. So how do we actually do this? Guys, we're going to find a way after this. We'll get the attendees. We'll send them the slides or something because I see you guys taking pictures and going crazy. We will pull the list of attendees and we'll send out the slides and send out that stuff so you guys can pay attention. Does that sound good? So this will be in there, okay? This tells you the 8 steps to start a podcast. Now, do you have to be amazing? Do you have to have a radio voice? Do you have to be, it's just like video, guys. Well, I don't like my voice. Do you talk to people? There you go. Some people are going to like your voice. Some people aren't. The one person who won't will be you. Nobody likes their own voice. Can we all agree on that? I get worried about people who like their own voice, okay? It's a different kind of person, right? So the first thing we do is we're going to get our gear. And you go, well, how do we get our gear? What's that mean? Can you name it for me? There's an amazing site, guys, that tells you exactly what gear to get. You ready? You guys write this down. You ready? It's G-O-O-G. Please tell me you're not still writing right now. If you're next to someone, make them stop writing, okay? And if they just wrote goog.com, then please stop them as well, okay? Google. You have everything available to you. Google, okay? So gear, you don't have to do like, some professional mic or so. There's so many options for $40 right now on Amazon, okay? But start. You've got to start, okay? Get your gear. Record your first episode. Well, what do I talk about? Well, what do your emails say? You could do 5-minute episodes. Just answer a question. Question of the day. It's not about you having a professional. It's about having an option for consumers to listen to voice. Understand? Figure out the fun stuff. What do we want to talk about? What are we going to use? When are we going to do it? Prepare your stock materials. Go to Fiverr and have them prepare what your album stuff is going to look like. Once it's done, it's done. You guys know Fiverr? No. Fiverr. People do anything you want for $5 within the realm. Edit your first episode or send it off to Fiverr and have them edit it. Once you get a system in place, it's easy schmeezy, like get a high school kid. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean no one else does. Upload your first episodes. You want to go minimum 3 episodes to start, because then you'll go into like the what's new or whatever the category is called, where it actually shows up in front of people on their Apple accounts and their Google. Launch your podcast. So when you upload, you guys see these logos on the outside? Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. Those are the places that these middle ones, Blueberry, Buzzsprout, Simplecast, Podbean, those 4 in the middle. Okay, you see those? You're going to get these slides. Blueberry, Buzzsprout, Simplecast, Podbean. Those are just different options that you can upload the episodes into, and then they will shoot out to Spotify and Stitcher and iTunes and Google. They will do it for you. You pick one of those 4. You get your stuff edited, you now have an MP3, you upload the MP3, and now it will automatically send them out to the other places. Okay? So that's what those are. The 4 on the outside, that's where it's going to shoot them. The 4 on the inside, Blueberry, Buzzsprout, Simplecast, Podbean, pick one of those that you're going to use as the place you upload to. Okay? And then you systematize it. Once you got your intro, outro done, once you got your art done, now it's just when are we doing it? How often do we want to do it? It's the easiest thing on planet Earth, okay? Now, 4th step. Don't just maintain your past, build for your future. And by the way, for those of you in here that are going, well, which one do we do? Do we do video or do we do voice? Which article of clothing did you put on today? It's not either or, guys. It's a new world. Marketing has changed. Consumer behavior has changed. Don't just maintain the past, build for the future. In today's world, you aren't just competing with other realtors for their attention. You're competing with Candy Crush. You're competing with their ESPN app. You're competing with their travel app. You're competing with their shopping app. You're competing with, because this is where the attention is. Is this true or not true? It's not about being able to just be alongside that content. It's ultimately about who's able to connect and engage. Who's able to get their attention and engage? I want to show you something really quickly here that I think is super powerful. In 2011, there were 4.8 million annual home sales, and there were 4.5 million real estate leads generated. You guys ready? In 2017, there were 5.5 million home sales. There were 85.5 million leads created online. You think consumer behavior hasn't changed? Anybody look at that and go, wow? Now, what does that mean? It means, number one, that consumers aren't acting the same way. It means that they're going product first, then professional. Because where are they replying from? Off of properties. What does it also mean? It means you're in a new competitive environment. And it means that whoever's able to engage and connect with those people is the one who wins. Because while you're in here saying what I said earlier, telling me that your leads suck and telling me all those kinds of things, I am looking at people across this room that I know of that are top people in countries. They're top people in their areas. They're top people, and they have systems in place to convert these sucky leads. And they're making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on the idea that you keep telling yourself that. Consumer behavior has changed. 2011, 4.8 million home sales, 5.5 million leads that were created, or 4.5 million leads created. 2017, 5.5 million home sales, and yet 85.5 million people. Now, we are in right now what I call the attention economy. That's where we're at right now. It's about people's attention. It's about getting their attention. It's about being an option. It's the visibility will always trump ability. It's the being an option will always trump being the best. We're in the attention economy. But you know what we're going towards? We're going towards the intention economy. Anybody watch any of the Facebook stuff with Congress the last couple of weeks? We are moving out of right now the attention economy, and we are moving to the intention economy. The next wave that's coming through our industry, and one of the people who will be getting up here today will be talking a little bit about this, is AI. It's artificial intelligence. We are now able to tell the difference, or we're going to a place where we're able to tell the difference between interest and between intent. Between a college dude who goes out on a Friday night is interested in everything he sees, but there's no intent to get married. You understand? You guys following? What we are going through right now is the same thing of learning what people are interested in compared to what they actually intend to do. It's the difference between a fling and a marriage. It's the difference between getting a ton of leads and only a small percentage that are ever going to move forward in a certain number of time, and actually seeing what it is that people are doing every single day that signals them moving forward. It's the difference between somebody getting their credit report and thinking that that means that they want to buy a car. That doesn't mean that. There are other behaviors, there are other things that are now signaling people's intents that we now have access to. Again, did you watch those trials? Did you watch, were any of you freaked out at how much they knew? Were any of you, it's the difference between demographics, which is what we use right now, and behaviors. Do you know the difference between those two things? Demographics are, hey, female, 30 to 49, does this, whatever. Behaviors are where they actually go, what they actually do, that signal somebody actually having an intention to move forward. Why do you think Facebook and Google are now doing lookalike audiences? Where they're actually taking people's behavioral preferences and making audiences based on that. That's what a lot of those things were about, those trials were about, where they were going, what's going on here? Why are you able to do this? Why are you able to? That's a benefit to you. You may not like it. It's what's happening right now. Now, does this mean you don't have to look good online? That you can just go and... Absolutely not. Your marketing should always be ahead of where you are. That make sense? Guys, when I was first getting into speaking and I wanted keynotes, I probably wasn't keynote worthy. But when people went online, I needed them to see me in a keynote light. Because we live in a place now where first impressions are not made right here. They're made where? And what they see online is what their first impression tells them to feel about you. You ever done that? You ever gone online, looked at a restaurant, and go, this must be a raggedy place, not into it. Go to another place, hotel, and you go, this looks really nice. Gone to another place, did it not change your impression and change how you felt about that place? You think they're not doing that to you? But if you're doing it right, online is actually enhancing how they feel about you. And what's more important about that is that when someone has an initial feeling about you, the way that their mind works, everything you do from that point on for a certain period of time tries to reinforce what it is they already believe about you. You ever met someone, and like before you went and met someone else, they were like, that dude's a real jerk, can't stand that dude, can't whatever, and then you go meet the guy, and he is actually kind of nice, but then he does one thing, and you're like, yeah, kind of a jerk, because you were looking for that. Or you think someone's an absolute sweetheart, they're amazing, whatever, and then you go up, and they're not being real sweet, and you're like, must be having a bad day. Because you gave them benefit of the doubt based on what? Your impression of them. Because what we feel is ultimately what triggers this right here, to reinforce how we feel about them. Do you not have the ability to do that online? Have you looked at your sites lately? Is your marketing ahead of you? That's the question you need to be looking at. I want to be in a higher price point. Why? So you can make more money? Because if I went on your site sucks. I wouldn't sell my house through you. Your marketing has to be ahead of you, not where you're at. As we move forward here, guys, what you're going to notice is there's going to be a big focus on building right now, but it's also going to be on building for the future. There are two businesses that you're always in. The business you're in now and the business that you're going to be in. Wall Street Journal came out with a stat recently, and they said that the top 250 teams grew by an average rate of 42% the last 5 years. The average individual decreased in revenue. Now look, I don't think everybody belongs building a big team and doing whatever, but I think everybody belongs in a structure in this industry. A team is you and an assistant, by the way. A team is you, an assistant, and a buyer's agent. That's a team. You and your spouse are a team. But the idea that we got into this, and because we passed a real estate exam, we now have to convince people when buying or selling the largest asset they're ever going to own in their life that I'm an expert marketer, I'm an expert negotiator, I'm an expert communicator, is utter bullcrap. Is that not true? I'm an expert marketer because I learned how to be an attorney at my real estate license. Teams grew by over 42%, individuals. The idea of solopreneur going forward is not a good idea. And I'm going to give you example of that, after example of that, after example of that, of the type of structure it takes to actually be in your best client's interest. If I was going into a thing long term and I was a solopreneur forever, and I was going up against you and you were a solopreneur, but I actually had a structure, I'd go, wow, hope they're not too good at what they do, otherwise they won't have time for you. But hopefully they suck real good so they have no other clients so that they can do everything for you. Because that's what you have to hope for with a solopreneur, because buyers and sellers take a certain amount of time, and there's only so many hours in a day. You see how that works? Now, have things changed? Yeah. Is it difficult? Yeah. Is it frustrating? Yeah. Do we all struggle with it? Yep. I'll tell you guys a really quick story, and then we're going to move on with our next session here. My wife, who's not like an old woman or anything, I mean, our kids think we are, but I was in a hotel room about 3 weeks ago or 2 months ago. It was 7 years. I don't know. It might have been a couple months ago. And I get a frantic, I'm getting text messages from my wife, I'm getting calls, and like my wife's up on like social. She gets it. Like she's got it, right? She's not, I guess she's not old. She's like, and so she's frantically, like, I'm about to go on, like, I'm getting ready to go on stage. I'm like, what is going on? So I pick up the phone, and she goes, oh, my God, Jared, so-and-so just announced on Facebook that their father passed away. And so I picked up my phone, and I was going to, like, write, like, sorry to hear it or whatever. So I went into the comments, and all of a sudden, without even meaning to, all the GIFs came up, or the GIFs, or whatever you call them, or whatever. And she'd never used a GIF in her life, right? Any of you use those GIFs, right? And this is not an old, this is like, okay? So she tries to make them go away on a post where someone's father just passed away. And when she tries to make them go away, it posts a GIF. Now, it doesn't post any GIF. It posts a penguin going, bye-bye, bye-bye. It's a true story. Bye-bye. She calls me frantic. Like, I'm on my phone, I can't get it to go away. Like, there's no delete, there's no, like, they're gonna see this. Bye-bye, like. So I say, get on your computer. I bet on desktop. So she goes, she deletes it. She's messaging them. I don't know if you saw this, but why am I telling you this story? Because it's hilarious. Because look, guys, it's a new world. Things are changing all the time. It's not just the young people that get it. This is not a young message. This is not an old message. This is not a middle-aged message. This is not a boy message, girl message, whatever. This is you're in this industry, gotta learn, okay? How do we learn? We screw up. Do you think she will ever post that GIF? That's how you learn. You gotta pick it up, you gotta screw up, you guys in for that? Yeah. Awesome, let's do it. Let's bring out our next person, guys. You guys ready? Give them some energy. So,